Okay, I'm going to say something that might be a little tough to hear, but honestly, it's the single most important truth you have to accept if you really want to grow as a designer.
And look, that's not to bring you down. It's just a reality check. The good news, though, is that understanding why this is true is the very first step to actually beating the odds. And let's be super clear here. This has nothing to do with your talent or your skill. In fact, some of the most gifted, incredible designers I know are the ones struggling the most with money. So why is that?
It's so easy to blame the market, right? To just say, oh, it's oversaturated. That's the common excuse. But the truth is, the market has plenty of money for designers who get the game. The problem isn't the number of designers out there.
This is the question we really need to dig into. It all boils down to a few core mindset shifts that separate the struggling artist from the thriving business owner you really can become.
All right, let's jump into the first big myth. This is the one that keeps so many designers trapped. This idea that just getting better at design is the path to making more money. So here it is, the first hard truth. You can spend years, literally years, perfecting your craft, mastering every single tool, and still be broke. Getting better at making pretty things doesn't automatically mean you get better at earning a living. I mean, does this sound familiar? You're scrolling through social media, you see portfolios of designers charging 5 times what you do, and you just know, deep down, your work is better. That frustrating feeling you get, it's real, because your skill isn't the thing that's holding you back. And here is the core of it all. Clients with big budgets, they aren't buying your beautiful visuals. They're buying a result. They're paying you to help them get more sales, to build trust with their audience, to attract more customers. Your design is just the tool to get them that outcome. So that idea leads us right into the second major hurdle. It's not just about what you sell, but it's about how you think about your work and what it's worth. Okay, look at this. This is the fundamental difference. The employee mindset always asks about time. How many hours is this going to take me? That links your income directly to the clock. But the $10,000 mindset, the business owner mindset, it asks about the problem. You stop selling hours and you start selling the solution to a really expensive problem. And here's why that's so crucial. There are only so many hours in a day, right? So if you sell your time, your income has a hard mathematical limit. It's capped. But the value you can bring to a business, that's pretty much limitless. And so is your potential to earn. You know, let me tell you a quick story. I once had a client who fought me tooth and nail, really argued over a measly $300 fee for a design. It was super frustrating and honestly, a little insulting. But here's the crazy part. That very same client, without even blinking, was pouring thousands of dollars into Facebook ads, paying influencers, and even spending a ton of money to fix other mistakes in their business. The money was definitely there, and that's when it just hit me. The problem wasn't their budget, not at all. The problem was my failure to connect my little $300 design to the thousands of dollars of value they were actually trying to create. I was selling a thing, a deliverable, not a result. And that was totally my mistake to fix. All right, let's move on to the third reason so many talented designers get stuck. And it's this fantasy, this idea that your amazing work will just magically speak for itself. So many of us are guilty of this. We post a beautiful image to our portfolio or to Instagram, and we just kind of hope. We hope the right person sees it and just gets it. We're hiding behind the pixels, waiting to be discovered, instead of shouting from the rooftops about the strategy and the thinking behind a work. Now, this is a really tough pill to swallow, but it is 100% true. The designers earning 10 grand a month, they aren't necessarily the most talented ones. They're the most visible. They're the ones who are the loudest and clearest about the value they provide. They don't wait to be found. They make damn sure they are seen.
Okay, so we've torn down the myths. Now let's talk about building the new foundation. Because the real goal here, it isn't what you think it is. This right here is the biggest mindset shift of all. Reaching that $10,000 a month goal, it has almost nothing to do with how well you can design. It's about how well you can build a business system. It's a total change in where you put your energy. So what does a system even look like? Well, it means knowing exactly who you serve. It means having clear, repeatable packages or offers instead of making up a custom quote for every single project. It means having the guts to say no to work that isn't a good fit.
You shift from being just a maker to being a strategic decision maker. Your whole thinking just flips. You stop scrambling and asking, how do I get more clients? And you start building a system that answers, how do I attract better ones? The focus shifts completely from quantity to quality.
Look, it's comfortable to blame other things. It's way easier to say the market is saturated or all clients are cheap than it is to admit that maybe, just maybe, nobody ever taught us how money actually works in the world of design. Your talent, that'll get your foot in the door, but it's business thinking that lets you stay in the room and build a career.
So if any of this is resonating with you and you're sitting there wondering what the first step is, I can tell you what it is not. Do not rush off to spend another 100 hours polishing your portfolio. That's not the problem we're trying to solve here. The real work isn't on your computer screen. It's in your mind. You have to shift from seeing yourself as a designer who gets paid for their time to seeing yourself as a business owner who gets paid for the incredible value they create. That is the redesign that changes absolutely everything.